and gentlemen, I want you to hear the proposed lineup for the opposition in regard to winning the 2027 presidency. This is after KTN found out that the opposition has put in place experts, former politicians, and businessmen to identify the most suitable lineup that can help them clinch the presidency in 2027. And this analysis I want to give you those lineup, which is in 3 dimensions. They have come up with possible 3 lineups that if they work so, they'll have chances of winning the 2027 presidency. And they have gone a lot and considered a lot of factors in terms of ensuring that the opposition remains united. Because before I give you that lineup, because these experts say that the cost of splitting the opposition, anybody splitting or falling out from the opposition, is much greater than them remaining united, and that's why the opposition must and will remain united as we approach 2027. The second thing that those experts have come out and said is that if Mount Kenya will produce a presidential candidate, then the opposition will lose the 2027 presidency. This is because there is an higher chance of split and there is an higher chance of the division of the Mount Kenya region if they ever produce a presidential candidate, who most probably will be Rigathi Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lineup, but if you're watching for the first time, always remember to subscribe, pia like hii video, and pia unaweza drop your comment in the comment section about these lineups. And if you are against these lineups, what do you think is the most preferred lineup to win the 2027 presidency? So the first bit of the first formation, which was proposed by these experts, is that Kalonzo Musyoka from Ukambani becomes the presidential candidate of the opposition. Then he is deputized by Fred Okengo Matiangi. These are from Gusii region. Fred Okengo Matiangi becomes the running mate. That's now the deputy president. Then Martha Karua becomes the speaker of the National Assembly, while Eugene Wamalwa from Western region becomes the speaker of the Senate. Then we have JB Muturi going back to the Attorney General position. Then we have Natembeya being the CS Interior. I think this is the biggest consideration. These are the biggest principles who are considered to ensure that the numbers come in. But I've also forgot to say that in that formation, Rigathi Gachagua is the prime minister or the prime cabinet secretary in that position. So this will ensure that you have the Mount Kenya region, you have the Ukambani region, you have the Gusii region, and you have a good part of the Western region supporting this coalition. This is the first ever. This is the lineup number 1 that is been found out by KTN, that this lineup, if it goes as it is, then it will win the presidency. Second lineup is that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka still remains the presidential candidate, but this time the deputy is not Fred Okengo Matiangi, but the deputy is from Western region. That's Eugene Wamalwa. Kalonzo akue president, Eugene Wamalwa, that's from Western region, akue running mate in that ticket. Then his position zingine, Rigathi Gachagua remains the prime cabinet secretary. Now Fred Okengo Matiangi becomes the speaker of the National Assembly. And I tell you that politics, one day in politics, is a very, very long time. Now, here, Matiangi, the speaker wa National Assembly. Then you have JB Muturi remaining the Attorney General position, and the Martha Karua being taking a CS position, and also Natembeya is being urged by the opposition to run for the governor Trans Nzoia. But if he won't be willing, then he will be given a slot as the CS Interior. So that is the lineup number 2 of the experts, and the experts have proposed. So the last lineup that the experts are also proposing that can work for the opposition is that still Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka remains the presidential candidate. And you can identify from these 3 lineups that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka consistently remains the presidential flag bearer of the position. A lot of people have been having different opinions about wengine wanasema Natembeya should be the presidential candidate. A lot of people saying Fred Okengo Matiangi, of course, they are very good suitables, should be the presidential candidate. And some people, of course, have been for Kalonzo Musyoka. But according to the experts, three consistent lineups, they are putting Kalonzo Musyoka as the running or the flag bearer of the opposition. And remember that this is in consideration to ensure that the opposition doesn't split. It's not only that Kalonzo Musyoka is the most suitable one. No, the other consideration. Number one is to ensure that they get the entire support of the Mount Kenya region. Number two is to ensure that the opposition doesn't split, which lineup can ensure that the opposition remains intact. So the third one, Kalonzo Musyoka, yeye ndio flag bearer bado. And then we have the running mate. This time is Natembeya from the western region. It becomes the running mate now. Then the other positions, they remain as they were. Rigiji prime cabinet position, and then Mother Karua CS position, and this other position they'll split in terms of the Senate speakers, Senate Speaker, National Assembly Speaker, and the CS positions, and of course the Attorney General position, because these are the powerful positions in government. Ladies and gentlemen, but also one thing that comes out clear is that when the opposition will be going to take a running mate from the western region, if that's the lineup, then President Ruto is also likely to go and pick a running mate from the western region. Because if he doesn't do so, then there's a greater possibility that he will lose a greater majority of the votes that he could have got in western region. Remember that western region is the second largest region in the republic. Wapewe running mate position, there is no way you can convince for them to vote for another side, because they will want to support the running mate position that they have received for the first time, and President Ruto will be left with no option but also to go and counter it by also picking a running mate from the western region. Probably will be none other than Musalia Mudavadi. So there are a lot of considerations that are being done, but one thing also that was also insisted is that if there's a presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya region, the opposition will lose presidency. This is because now imagine we have a presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya region, then the opposition higher chances of splitting will arise. Maybe Kalonzo Pia a run for presidency, because you cannot have a presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya region, which means that Kalonzo Musyoka will not be the running mate, because these people almost come from the same region. It's like picking a presidential candidate from Luo Nyanza and then a running mate from the Kisii region. It can't work. Or picking a presidential candidate from Vihiga and a running mate from Kakamega. It won't work. So these are almost the same people. If the presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya region is there in the position, it means Kalonzo Musyoka ako nje. So the higher chances that it will split, or it means that Kalonzo Musyoka will run independently as a presidential candidate, and it will give now a chance for other more presidential candidates to stand in the Mount Kenya region, and the votes of the Mount Kenya region will be split. And that's why in all those formations, umeona kuwa hakuna presidential candidate from the Mount Kenya region, hakuna running mate from the Mount Kenya region. The Mount Kenya region is now stepping in the prime cabinet position under Rigiji. And of course, I know because of their voter-rich population, they'll negotiate a lot of things, including the position Mother Karua will be receiving because she is from the Mount Kenya region, and they'll receive the CS slots. They have the Attorney General, JB Muturi, is from the Mount Kenya region, and they'll receive a lot of PS positions and consideration in government. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the proposal that was or that has been risen from the opposition. You can tell me what you think about it. Do you think that the flag bearer who is consistently Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is worthy that position, or else there's a different format that can work in the position? Otherwise, have a nice day, stay safe, and let's meet next time. And in case politicals you like this channel, you should be always subscribe, like this video, and drop a comment in the comment section. Thank you. Have a nice day.